You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Nerdy Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 36. Today is January 30th, 2021. Today on the podcast, I got Mr. Officer Ricky.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
I have him on a video chat thing on an iPad that I had at the house the entire time that I could have been using since day one.
Yeah, I kind of miss being there. I like the setting. I like and also like that you provide beer. So that I do like.
The refrigerator is full of beer, bro. No joke. I gotta get this shit. I need somebody to drink this stuff, man. And it's mainly seltzers, dude. I have like all kinds of brands of seltzers, different flavors, different companies, and I need this stuff to be.
Yeah,
drunk.
see,
I got
whereas me,
I got a TV in the
yeah,
garage. I got the seltzers. And then no one to freaking enjoy them with. Right now, I'm watching freaking the
whereas
Avengers.
me, I got just nothing but like Gatorade and waters in my fridge. That's about it. I got no alcohol, man, in my fridge. That's why I like going to your house because you got it all.
Yeah, and freaking at the house, and you know me, dude. Freaking at the house, all we have has been mainly water, dude. You know how many times I get up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom because I have to pee or I have the urge to pee, and it's like,
Yeah,
the last time I had a cup of water was like at 3 in the afternoon. Why am I freaking peeing at 3 in the morning? It doesn't make sense.
it's just that body routine.
It's like
The
literally
routine
no
your body
joke.
has. It's like it's a good time.
No joke. It's like every like at 2 in the morning, 45 minutes later I have to go again. 45 minutes later I have to go again. I'm like, I normally wake up. My alarm doesn't even wake me up to go to work.
Uh-oh.
But we've been drinking.
Kidney stone developing.
We've been drinking a lot of that water. You know, I'm trying to lose a little bit more weight. I think for 2020 I lost 30 pounds, so I want to see if I can lose another 30 in 2021.
Oh yeah.
But
Like that.
you heard me. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But first of all, let's start off with last week's COVID rant. What were
That was a good one.
how were your? No, I like I said, there's like when I have no one to talk to, no one's here, I'll just start talking, and then something triggers my attitude, and I get fucking pissed, dude.
Your emotions.
My emotions. I got a phone call from a family member. I got messages on Facebook. Hey, that's a good one. I got messages on Instagram. Hey, that was a good one. I'm like, do you guys want me to rant more often? Because I can. So
Speaking from the heart, you can't. Hey, it's not. You can't go wrong.
I'm gonna rant today, but I'm gonna have Officer Ricky, the law, to kind of control me. You know what I mean? That's why this is what we're doing here.
I got you.
Officer Ricky's
I
here to
got you.
control me. But first of all, I do want to say thank you for what you did while I had COVID, and going out of your way to the hospital and picking up my medication. I like I said, dude, I felt bad when you couldn't come in the house. I'm like, no, you got to go, dude. You can't come in.
Yeah, no, yeah, dude. Like I said, man, anytime, dude. I mean, as you know, Bethy had it, you, and you're pretty sure Letty and the kids had it. So I was like, you know what? If we're going to hospital, I might as well go. I'm not too far from you guys. So I was like, yeah, no problem doing that at all. When you went to go, the funny thing, when you told me to first see if I can go find the zinc, I didn't even know
Yes.
much of
Okay.
that. And
Real quick.
yeah,
So I heard that we needed to take zinc. So I asked this guy if he can go find some zinc for us. And, one of my sister-in-law who works for Nature Made, she literally lectured my wife, and she told her, I told you, I've offered you guys this stuff from the beginning of this pandemic, and you guys turned me down. So how was that goose chase, buddy?
yeah. So I went to like two or three. I can't remember now. I think it was two CVS's, and I think on the second one, the dude pretty much laughed at me and said, "We haven't had zinc forever. Like the manufacturers are back ordered. Like we're not gonna see zinc for a few months." And he goes, "If you want, you can call the CVS's or other like pharmacy stores, but like no one's gonna have it." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Did not know that was a big thing."
I felt bad because I'm like, damn, this guy's on a wild goose chase looking for zinc. I'm sure he can find a
So
needle in a haystack faster than he can find zinc.
oh yeah, yeah. That's what I found out that day. So I was like, okay, well, that's not happening.
Yeah. So then you ended up going to the hospital, and you call me and like, dude, this place is closed. I'm like, what are you talking about? The pharmacy's 24 hours. So I literally had
Yeah.
to freaking FaceTime you
Yeah, we FaceTime.
and
Yeah.
walked you around the building.
Yeah, I guess I was on the wrong side. So when I was there, I saw the doors, everything's dark. I'm like, the hell? And then there was only a sign, but it didn't say pharmacy. It just said like the hours of operation.
Yeah.
And it said, I forgot what time it was closed. I'm like, dude, this thing says it's closed. No one's coming out. I'm like, what the hell? So I call Andy, hey man, you sure? You sent me to the right spot? Because this place is closed, dude.
The,
And
the,
so
the
once,
beautiful thing about the instructions of that place is like, do you see the Starbucks?
yeah, exactly. It's like, which side of the fountain are you on? I'm on this side. Okay, no, you're on the wrong side of the fountain. Go by. You see the Starbucks? Go to that one.
Yeah,
all
go
right.
start walking towards that Starbucks. Okay, once you get to the Starbucks, you see that then so every time you saw something, I pointed you to a different item or different building or okay,
Yeah,
so
little landmark here.
you saw the fountain, right? Okay, go left. You see the Starbucks? Yes. When you get to the Starbucks, look to your left and you're going to see like this tent. Go towards that
Tents,
tent. Once you get to that tent, go past the tent. Once you pass the tent, you're going to look to your left again, and there's going to be 2 doors that lead you into the hospital.
Yeah. But then I got on the second goose chase because when I got in, I walked up, waited in a big ass line. Wasn't that bad. Actually, the line wasn't that bad. Got went to top and they're like, "Oh yeah, you have to register the medication though." I'm like, what's that?" Like, "Oh, you have to register it. I'll register it for you." It was gonna take probably about like an hour to 2 hours because of like, a lot of people are waiting for the medicine to get registered so they can pick it up. So it's gonna take about an hour, 2 hours. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right, well, let's register. So that shit's, in my head, I'm like thinking, all right, let's register it. So if I don't get it today, at least I'll come back tomorrow and that shit will be ready. So that's when I call Andy and I'm like, hey, man, this is take an hour, 2 hours.
You know
Then I got to wait in line again.
what was funny was the fact that they're the ones that called me. The hospital called me, and they're the ones that said, "Hey, we have your medication ready. You just got to send somebody to come pick it up for you because you have COVID and you can't come by." When I sent you over there, the medication should have been done and ready to go. All you had to do was pick it up.
I don't know. I think she was misinformed because literally, I think right when I got home, I think you sent in the message saying, oh, like that you got the message, right? Saying that, oh, hey, the order is ready.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I think literally,
Homegirl told me
I
hour, 2
think
hours.
literally 2 minutes after you drove off from the hospital, I got the text message that said, "Hey, your medication's ready to go." You're like, "Fuck this!
Yeah, so-
I'll pick it up tomorrow."
yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So I was just like, oh, I'll just get that shit tomorrow then. Because, like I said, when the lady told me, I think she was probably just misinformed. So that's why I was like, I'll just pick it up tomorrow,
So-
then, man. Because
How were the symptoms for you? I think I already said mine. I think I forgot one. I think the one last symptom I forgot to mention was the last couple of days. I felt like I had a hangover.
yeah. Oh no. Oh, all right. No, I didn't.
That's
get
how I
like that.
felt, dude. Like I
Yeah.
knew I was getting better because I didn't have like the chills anymore. I didn't have the body aches, but I just felt hungover.
Mm-hmm.
So how were the symptoms for you?
Mine were a little different. So Betty got it on the 28th. Christmas was what, 20? Was that a Saturday?
It was the 29th when she sent the text message that I wasn't very happy with.
Oh, 20. Okay, so she got on 29th. So 4 to 5 days about is like how long it takes for like you to get sick. It's not like boom, the next day you get it from the doctors I was talking to. They said like usually like 3 to 5 days is like the window.
Well, yeah,
of when you can
3
get
to
it.
3 to 5 days because so obviously family, the wife and the kids went and hung out with
Mhm.
some family members on the on Christmas Day, which was the 25th. I started feeling
Yeah.
a scratchy throat Monday. So this was Friday. The get together was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. So we're talking 3 days later, literally to the T. I started getting a scratchy throat, and it just felt like a hair in my throat. I was trying to
Yeah,
cough
yeah,
it
yeah.
out, but then the next morning I woke up with the same thing, and then a scratchy runny nose. I gotta stop watching
Yeah.
the Avengers, bro. I gotta turn this TV off because I get distracted.
No, no, no. Um,
And but it was like I said, that's when I started. Like I said, it's Tuesday the 29th is when I started getting the symptoms and shit. And then I even walked into one of my liquor stores and, hey, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna get an orange juice. And even he was like, you feeling sick? I'm like, you runny nose, but no big deal. No joke.
yeah.
30 minutes
Yeah.
later, Betty sends out that text message. You're joking, right? You're joking.
Hmm.
Oh man, because no joke is like, this is not what I want to hear
Oh
right
yeah. Well, of
now.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is, dude. I mean, I was upset. I did lose some money at work. But the beautiful thing is we survived it. Kids survived it. The wife survived it. Betty had it. She survived it. You survived it. So,
Yeah.
but what were the symptoms for you?
So for me, um, I'm
Sounds like you still have
positive.
it, bro. I'm glad I'm doing this on a video
Huh?
chat.
Nah. You know what's funny is that my cough came on like late, late. The last 2 days of my quarantine, um, all of a sudden the cough came on hard. And I called my work, like, how you feeling? I'm like, I feel fine, but I got this. The cough came on late. I got this pretty bad cough right now. And they're like, you know what? Take an extra day then. I'm like, or yeah, take an extra day because after that I have 2 days off on my regular schedule, so you'll have 3 days extra. I'm like, all right. So I did that. It comes and goes right now. I
Well,
think because of the cold.
at work, every morning we have to take a survey. It's literally right after you clock in. We take the survey and it says, were you near somebody who tested positive? And technically, I wasn't because I didn't go to the Christmas gathering. I stayed home. So the answer is no. Then the second question was obviously if I left the country. The answer is no. Third question was, do you have like symptoms like whatever, blah, blah, blah. And here's where I'm like, well, how am I supposed to determine whether I have COVID or just a runny nose?
Yeah,
I can't tell.
yeah.
So I put no. And then the fourth question, I think it goes more into oh no, one of them is about a fever. The fourth question is more into more into details, diarrhea, runny nose, coughing or whatever. And I put no. And so
Hmm.
that morning after, we get the text message that homegirl's positive, then I call my boss and that's what my boss is. But you put on your survey no to stuff. I'm like, how am I supposed to determine whether I have COVID or I have just a runny nose? I go out from a warm house into the cold air to my warm car to then get out of my warm car to go into a cooler that's 40, 37 degrees.
Yeah,
Remember we went to
yeah.
Big Bear back in October. I'm the only one in
Hmm.
tank top and shorts because I feel
Yeah,
fine. You guys
and I
are
was
all
freezing.
cold
Yeah, I'm freezing.
because I'm used to it. How am I supposed to, and he kind of like try to lecture me about that. But then when I prove my point, he kind of like, well, you're right, because I wake up with body aches doesn't mean that it's COVID. It's just my age. I'm like, exactly. So that when I went back to work, this time I put yes, I have a runny nose. 30 minutes later, I get a call from my boss, a different boss, and they, hey, are you at work today? I'm like, yeah. What's going on? He said, oh, because you answered yes to one of the questions, and it says if you answer yes to one of the questions to stay home. And I was like, well, I answered yes because I just have a light runny nose. And I spoke to the other boss and he was like, well, you were clear to come back. So, I mean, you're good to go. You can, and he's like, all right, cool. I just said, I don't want to put no to my questions and then get in trouble later on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I was the same thing. Like, and it's funny to like clarify, right? Like, the only reason why I'm one of those people like, oh, I want to get COVID was because, like you said, like no matter what, I got paid, and I know I'm a pretty healthy individual. Not to be like try to be too naive, but also it was more like on the back end, like, when this stuff was pretty brand new back in March, I worked the LA Marathon, and literally the next day or a few days after the LA Marathon, sick. I was sick, fever, bad cough for 2 weeks. Literally almost the same thing except for like the smell. Like it was like a full-on flu that I had.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, okay, well, I mean, I don't know how to differentiate. I didn't go get tested. And at work, they were just like, hey, well, you have to stay home. Like, that's it. Like, there's no federal program going on yet. So I had to use like 7 days of my own sick days. So I burned up 7 sick days of my own time. And literally, like, I think 2 or 3 weeks later, they didn't come out with like this federal program where, it's you get paid if you're off and everything. You don't have to use your own sick time pretty much. Your sick time you save your sick time still. So I was like, oh man, dude, I could have saved those 7 days. So in my head, I'm like, dang, I felt cheated, man. So yeah, I was like, I felt cheated. So that's why I was like, oh man, I want my 7 days back. I want my 7 days back. And
So you
so
purposely wanted COVID.
yeah, so I mean, like I said, just for selfish reasons, more like, hey man, I was sick I had to use 7 days of my own time. I felt like I had to get something back. So when I got it this time, it was a completely different experience. In the beginning, I had nothing. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just asymptomatic then. I mean, maybe that first time I had it was COVID, and now it's not going to be that bad.
Yeah.
Well, I was wrong. The first night was chill. Second night is like the chills. I'm sorry, the chills and the fever came on. It's like I think my fever was like 101. But it was cold around that time, and you know me, I'm always cold.
Yeah.
So I had layers on, I had thermals on, socks, covers on, and because I had the chills, so I was, I felt warm. I mean, I felt cold. I was trying to warm up, but then all of a sudden it went from cold to hot quick, and my body felt like I was just burning up. And so then, like the weirdest thing happened. The weirdest thing, like my whole body just felt like it was boiling. So then I started, no joke, and I felt like it was to the point to where I actually felt not like nauseous.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
how hot my body was feeling.
Yep.
I felt nauseous. I'm like, I don't want to throw. I'm not gonna throw up.
Yep.
So then I took off my socks because I know that's where like your body, expels heat. It's from like your feet. I took off my sock, and it's almost like I felt instantly better. Took off my sweater. I just took everything off,
Dude,
and I started feeling instantly better.
there was this I think like twice where I was hungry but I didn't want to eat because just watching the boys eat an apple, like I wanted to throw up, but there's nothing in my system to throw up, so I don't throw up, so I just went to go lay in bed. So the laying in bed all day and not eating anything brings me to my next topic is weight loss. I lost 5 pounds.
It was great.
I lost 5 pounds
I lost
that day
13.
During COVID. So if you want to lose some weight, you got to get COVID. That's what I'm hearing.
Get COVID. It's great. Oh yeah. Hey, if you can stand the body aches, the chills, the body pain, the fevers, diarrhea, loss of smell and taste, 13 pounds will come off quickly though.
I went
As long
to
as you can survive those, they're good.
after work. I went to go get a haircut, and the lady tells me, because she hasn't seen me in a minute, and she goes, "Hey, you're losing weight," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to." She was like, "You know what I say? If you want to lose weight, you got to lose COVID. You have to have COVID." And I'm like, "Well, we had COVID."
That's
oh no!
exactly what it was.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No. It's okay. We had COVID, but obviously we survived it, and here we are now getting haircuts. And I ended up, like I said, losing 5 pounds that one day, and then, but once COVID was over, we started on that protein that you introduced us to, and and it's pretty good, dude. I mean, I like it. Today's dinner was that protein shake. In the morning, I wake up, take the powder passion drink with the alkaline, and then for lunch I'll come home and have a salad or something with heavy protein chicken on the salad or whatever leftovers left behind. And then for I come home from work about 2:33. I'll have another passion, and then for dinner today I had just another one of those shakes.
Yes, I mean, I liked it a lot. Yeah, I took it back in like 2015, 2016, around that time, and it did really work. It worked really well for me, and that's kind of like when I kind of like stuck with it for a minute, and then I stopped, and then I ran across a buddy that that's what he does. He sells it, and when you told me, I'm like, dude, why don't I do that again? Like that thing was so awesome the first time I did it. It helped my grandma. So I'm like, you know what? It's a health product. It's not gonna do any damage to me when I'm about to, when I'm about to get COVID. If I can potentially get COVID, might as well try to boost my body to, something. So
Yeah.
I'm like, let me try it. And that's when I was like, you know what? Let me see if let me offer it to Andy and Letty, see if maybe they want to try it out.
Yeah,
You know,
I was I think 257 at the beginning of the year. Like I said, it was 285 last year, and all year I lost 30. I was stuck between 255, 257, 259, 255, back and forth, back and forth.
hmm
And the lowest I was like 252. So now with doing this, like I said, after COVID, we got into it, like really got into it because I was taking medication from so many different medications that I didn't want
Yeah.
to mix everything around. That now what are we having for dinner today? I'm like, I'm having my shake because tomorrow morning I better weigh 249. Because if I have not, I was like, I have not seen that 4 in my weight in 8 years. And my kids are like, Dad, don't over exaggerate, Dad. You're over exaggerating. And then, the wife's like, no, he used to work out. He used to go to the gym after work. And back then, I gained 40 pounds working for this company in like 3 months.
Man.
Now,
But you said that's from like the boss is taking you out to eat all the time, right?
yeah, exactly. We freaking
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
like kings in this company. And they're like, Dad, don't over exaggerate. Don't over exaggerate. I'm like, no, it's the truth. So I want to see that 4. My goal is to be in the 40s mark before February. So that
Hell
hopefully
yeah.
in February, before I hit March, I plan on being in the 30s. So I'm gonna hit the
Okay,
220 mark.
so you're
And
gonna
once,
try to go. You're really going for that 30 then
oh
for
yeah,
this year
no,
too,
I
then,
want to
huh?
weigh anywhere from
All right.
220, 229. And when I get to 229, 220, 229, I'm having a whole pizza to myself. I'm not sharing. I've had
That's
pizza already, but I'm not sharing. It's mine.
all right.
It's mine. We're talking deep dish,
Damn.
5 meats.
I can't do it. I can't do deep dish. That's all you, man. I can't. It's just too much bread for me. I can't do it. I'll do a whole thin crust, but no, I can't
I'll
do deep
gain.
dish,
I'll
man.
gain. My goal is to whenever I feel that once I get to that 220, I can eat whatever the hell I want, and then drop it again, and then splurge. As long as it doesn't pass 229, as long as it never hits the 230 mark again, we're good.
Hey, it comes in waves. It comes in waves.
Yeah.
You go up, you come back down. Hey, it's the way of life. Yeah, no,
So
but it's good stuff, man. I
yeah.
like it.
Now on to the topic of choice. I was gonna go on
Oh
a rant.
yeah.
I was gonna go on a rant today because obviously I didn't go. I wasn't gonna go. Like I said, for some reason my rants are the ones that get more listeners. So I was gonna get up this today and just fucking talk about a situation that happened yesterday, and it bothers me. It
All
bothers
right.
me, and I think I wanna send a message, not a message. Well, you know me, like try to end the podcast with something that I can teach someone, and they can learn something, or if they can take it and tell me to fuck off, or they can take it and say fuck, he's right.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
you know me, man. I'll do whatever it takes for my kids, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I will, to the extreme, kiss someone's ass if I have to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lately, the mother of my kids and I have been getting along. That something that I've been wanting for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Just peace. She has been very nasty. She's been nasty to my wife. She's been nasty to, comments that she's made about us to the kids and stuff like that. All that has been put to the side and been squashed. So it's in the past. It's gone. So there was times where the kids, hey, we want to see our cousins. So here I am reaching out to, the grandma and the sister and saying, hey, you know what? We're in town. The kids would like to come and visit with the cousins. Can they come by? Can we drop them off for a little bit, a couple hours? And they would have said, yeah, no problem. Actually, and at one point, we dropped them off at the park one time, and they were like, yeah, well, why don't you and your wife stay too? I'm like, well, this is kind of uncomfortable. It's like you
Mhm,
guys are
mhm.
the enemy's family. I
Yeah.
can't stick around
Well,
here. No, that's
uh-huh.
fine. Stick around. We're just gonna have cake and whatever. Blah blah. This is before pandemic. This is a couple years back. I think this is
Mhm.
like maybe I'm gonna say 2 years after I had custody of the kids, and they've seen the difference of the kids, like how they dress, how they act. Because people where I used to work at Walmart on the walkie-talkie would say, "Hey, your monsters are here." That was it.
Yeah.
That's what they classified my kids at because they were pains in the ass.
Yeah.
And so they saw the difference where even the this my ex mother-in-law and my ex sister-in-law were like, dude, these kids are better off with you. That comment was made by them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just funny that when baby's mom was back in the picture, it's just two faces. I freaking hate two faces. I hate hypocrites. It pisses me off. It's just I can't stand it, bro. I can't fucking stand it. So I even told
Yeah.
the wife,
Yeah.
don't open up too much. They're just the thing about my wife is that she gives people the benefit of the doubt, and she opens up, and then it bites us in the ass. So again, one day
Got
they
it.
invited us over to the house to have something together for Layla's birthday. So, and again, baby's mom was not in the picture. She's living in Oregon, or for some reason she took off. So, okay, cool, whatever. So we interacted with them and with the kids and the cousins, and like the way it should be. So now it's I guess different. It's the my son's his birthday's next Saturday. I don't even know if I'm gonna post a podcast, but his birthday's next Saturday. He turns 12. And Mijo, what do you want for your birthday? All I want for my birthday is for my cousin to come over. Okay. I mean, I don't talk to his mom, because they don't talk to us.
Mhm.
When baby mama's back in the picture, they don't talk to us. We're the assholes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So they don't. I can try to reach out. I mean, because there I go, doing whatever it takes for my kids. I can try to
Yeah.
reach out. I'll see
Yeah.
what I can do. So now that baby mama and I are getting along, hey, I kind of hit her up. Hey, I think your sister still has me blocked on Facebook from a while back, and all Julian wants for his birthday is for his cousin to come over, and she was like, I mean, if you want to be Julian's hero right now, do what you can do. That's your sister. Do what you can do. I can't get a hold of
Yeah.
her, so
Mhm.
all right, cool, no problem. She calls her sister, and her sister's like, "What? You're gonna let your kids go to Andy's house?" They're like, "Yeah, we're cool. Everything's cool. We're peaceful. We're getting along. I mean, I chit chatted with his wife for a little bit. She's cool. I mean, the I thought I heard noises in my freaking garage, bro, and I was freaking out earlier. Looking back, I kept on looking back. Right now, her printer just went off.
Yeah, I heard something, but is that what it was? All
I-
right.
That I turned earlier when you were talking. I was looking behind my back. I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" It's a freaking printer that went off right now. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, I just heard, but I thought it was a train.
time to go. I'm out." I probably heard Grandpa scaring the shit out of me. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
anyways, so we're talking about the same sister that told us that the kids were better off with me.
Mhm.
Same sister. Well, you're gonna let your kids? Now we're talking about her other kids that she had after I moved out.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna let your kids go to his house? What's the problem? Well, that seems kind of weird, don't you think? Like, maybe his mom's like, but we're getting along. Isn't that what you guys wanted? We've been getting along. I mean, Andy's he's been there for his kids, and his wife is okay. And what's the problem? Well, I don't feel comfortable with my kids going over there. Are you serious? Like, what? Okay. So I guess she finally convinced her. To to let the kid come over, And she was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Yeah, okay, cool. So the plan is this, and we'll do this, blah blah blah. It was set in stone.
So then she agreed at first.
She agreed
right now.
She agreed.
Okay.
But what happened yesterday? So I, hit up the mother of my kids. Hey, again, the kids are very excited. I hear them playing on Among Us or Roblox, and they're talking to each other, and they're very excited, and they're making plans, and they're kind of having questions. And I had to hey, let us adults deal with that. Don't worry about it. Us adults can figure out how we're going to go pick you up, where we're going to meet, how you're going to get here. Don't worry about it. You guys just make plans and get ready to have a good time.
Yeah.
I get word that that's not happening. That's not happening.
What's not?
The child is not coming to my house because
Jojo's cousin.
Yeah, Julian's cousin, Jojo's cousin, the boy's cousin is It's not allowed to come over to my house because whenever they asked me for the boys to spend the night, I never allowed them to spend the night. So now it's a fucking game. It's a game. I'm like, wait a minute. First, you guys were okay with the kids, agreeing to the fact that the kids are better off with me, but now you have a problem. Now you're saying that you guys have asked me in the past for the kids to go, for my boys to go spend the night, and I never allowed them to. That's the reason why the boys, your Jojo's cousin, can't come spend the night. Is that what I'm hearing? That's what she said. Bullshit. I call bullshit. She has never, ever asked for the boys to go spend the night at their house. Not once in the past. What? How long have I had custody of the kids? 13. So nowhere in the past 7 years have they ever asked me for the kids to spend the night. So it kind of annoys me that if you have a problem with the adults, why are you taking it out on the kids? That's my rant right there.
Yeah. No, I mean,
why are you taking it out on the kids?
Yeah. And that's the unfortunate part that I kind of come across in my line of work for some reason. The parents or people in general want to kind of get back at the person, like you said, by taking it out on the kids. But little do they realize that the only people that are really losing and suffering in this are the kids.
Yep.
They're the only ones that take the L in all this. Because you're still going to go about your day and do your thing, but the only person that's going to be really hurt is JoJo.
Yeah. So this conversation with the mother of my kids happened yesterday right before my lunch. So you know me, I come home for lunch. I'm lucky, fortunate to be able to work on my route, live on my route. So I come home for lunch. And I had to tell him. And I told the mother of my kids, I want to be honest with him. I'm not going to lie to him. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to beat around the bush. And I'm going to tell him, hey, well, your aunt said that your cousin can't come over. And I told him the truth, because I never allowed you guys to spend a night at their house. And even he was like, well, when did they ask? But the moment I told him that his cousin wasn't going to come over, I can see his face. His eyes watered up, and he wanted to cry. He wanted to cry. And that's what I told, I told my wife. I was like, and I told the mother of my kids, what's going to happen is all they're going to manage to do is have these kids hate the adults. These kids are going to, that kid one day will grow up and realize, wait a minute, so my mom was the one that was lying to me, or my mom was the one? Coming from experience, because that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
When I don't know if I already said the story about my grandma, but when you're told something from your mom, you believe that person because that person is your mom, right?
Yeah.
So for 8 years, I heard that my grandma told us to fuck off. That my grandma went to go live in El Paso, and that told my mom that you guys live your life. This is why I get very personal when it comes to kids. Your grandma moved to El Paso, and she told us for us to live our life and to not look for your other brothers, and it is what it is. So when you have this lady walk up to your house out of the blue 8 years later and says, hey, I've been looking for you guys for 8 years. Where the hell have you guys been? I turned around and looked at my mom, and I lost all respect for her that day. I was like
Yeah.
16
Well, yeah.
years old. I was like 16 years old.
Yeah.
I lost all respect for her that day because why is it that you told us that my grandma didn't want anything to do with us, but yet, mijo, I've been looking for you guys for 8 years. Where the hell you guys been? Now, she doesn't speak like that.
Mhm.
She doesn't speak like that.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you're angry, that's how you hear it. And
Yeah.
so that's why I get very personal when it comes to kids. When it comes to the kids,
I mean,
like
that's
you're
acceptable.
hurting the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're not hurting me. Was I pissed off? Yes, I was pissed off. But you're not hurting me. You're hurting that kid. I saw I saw the look on his face, and that's what I told the mother of my kids. Hey, Julian wanted to cry, and
Yeah.
even she said, I don't get it. I don't get it. They want us to get along. They've been asking us to get along. Now we're finally getting along, and they have a problem with that. Now we're talking they. I mean her sister and her mom.
Yeah.
Her sister and her mom have a problem with us getting along, but that's what they've wanted for the past 10 years. They wanted no drama.
Yeah.
The world
Now-
revolves better when people get along.
Yeah. Now I got a question slash gonna play a little devil's advocate here. So do you think maybe in the past when there was issues that maybe the sister asked baby mama, hey, can kids spend the night? And more as like a cop out, baby mama's like, oh, Andy's not really comfortable with with that. I don't know.
Well,
So
here,
more so like instead of her saying no to her sister of like let's say when the kids were at baby mama's house like in the past, do you think maybe like the sister did ask like, hey, since they're now with you for this weekend, can they come over at the house or stay the night at the house? And do you think maybe it's possible that baby mama was like instead of her just saying no, would use kind of you as
As the
like
bad
a
guy?
cop out like. Yeah, like, oh, Andy. Oh, I talked to Andy. He says he's not comfortable with that, or Andy doesn't want that. Something along those lines. Do you think that's a possibility that could have happened?
you know what? I mean, even the wife side, how much of what your baby's mama, how much of what your baby's mama said do you believe? And I'm like, well, it's still 50-50. It's still 50-50.
okay.
So yeah, to go to your concern, your question, it's like you're right. Was that ever brought up or whatever? But why agree to letting the kid come over and then 2-3 days later change your mind and then make that an excuse?
So my thing with that is, I think it's more of just like like convenience, because it's not like you and I, right, where we're like 20 minutes apart. That's I think going to be my theory right now. Is that that's what it sounds like is one. If there is an issue with you, that's going to be part of it as well, obviously. But I think also it's just the whole conveniency of it, of like, like, oh, that sounds kind of far. So let me go ahead and use this now. 'Cause
Yeah.
now I committed to this, but I kind of want to do that anymore. So instead, I'll say, oh, because of this happened in the past, I'm not going to do this no more.
Yeah.
So it could be also just like a whole convenience thing. But at the end of the day,
I just at the end of
Offers?
the
Jojo.
day, like I said, I saw my son's face and it hurt. It hurt, and
yeah,
I
that's the
just
thing. That she should have really thought that through before giving that answer, right? To
Yeah.
baby mama or to you, like, hey, you know what? Let me talk to, the cousin, the dad's mom, whoever. Let's figure things out first before I tell you, an answer. So that way you're not telling Jojo. He's not now super excited, talking with the cousins days leading up. That, man, we're going to do this and this and this and this. It's going to be all dope. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, something changes, minds are changed, and then now it's what they had planned comes crashing down.
Yep. And so I think my message for this podcast is don't take it out on the kids.
Yeah.
Don't take it out on the kids. If
Yeah, no.
you like example, and I don't want to go too long on this episode, but example. I was always told never say anything bad about their mom in front of the kids.
Mhm.
Never.
Mhm.
And when you go to court, never say anything bad about the mom. Always make it about the kids. And so this is what, like, back in anger management classes where they told me this.
Mhm.
And I never did. I mean, there's times where she did something shady and it pissed me off, and I said, "Fucking bitch," you know. But I catch
Yeah.
myself, or I would, go and lock myself in the bathroom where nobody can hear me and be like, "Fucking throw a fucking Home Alone tantrum." Fuck it, you know what I mean? And I never really, I'm not gonna say I'm perfect, and I never said anything. I know I probably made a comment here and there, but when she would do it, and she would just, like I said, in front of in front of the kids, they will all gather up in their kitchen table at the mom's house. I hate that kitchen table, bro. I hate it. That's just like the ground zero of gossiping. I hate that table. And
Chisme Central right there.
at the mom's house, yeah.
Chisme Central.
Yeah, ándale, Chisme Central. And they, like I said, they would run their mouth, they would gossip, they would talk about us. And even after the fact that the mom said, "Hey, they're better off with you," they would still, do their thing, gossip, two-faced hypocrites bullshit. Where there's a picture on Facebook. You search up the person's name and you'll find that picture. It's not blocked. You'll see it. It's Nicholas. It's a group photo of all the grandkids, of her grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Nick. You see Nicholas' face. He had to have been, oh man, 10, maybe 10 years old, 9 years old. And he was pissed. In this photo, he is pissed. He is the only one in this photo not happy. When I got a glimpse of this photo, I asked him, "Mijo, what happened, buddy? Why were you mad in this photo?" And with tears in his eyes, he said, "Because my grandma, my mom, and my aunts just finished talking a bunch of stuff, a bunch of bad stuff about you and mom," meaning my wife.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And little by little, the boys pretty much started losing respect for their mom.
Yeah.
Because you never badmouth the other parent in front of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Kids aren't stupid. They grow up on that. I mean, they realize once they learn right from wrong, they see that you don't do that. They see the person doing that. They realize, they're not dumb.
Yeah.
They do realize, how a person is from how you let the are compared to baby mama and whatever else is going on in the household. They understand what's going on. They may not comprehend fully, but they understand, what's going on. They can differentiate that right and wrong. That's why they get mad and uncomfortable.
And I think a lot of it has to do with I know they hated my wife for a long time because all these kids ever do is rave about her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's done everything right. They call CPS on us, Child Protective Services, one day because Julian had a tendency of trying to bite people. Like he was like, we first got him, he was like 4 or 5, and he wanted to bite people. And so my wife grabbed him like some kind of a hold that she learned in her parenting, child development classes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So she grabbed him and she kind of held him until he stopped, and she held him until he stopped. And I guess I don't know if they mentioned that to the mom or whatever. Next couple of days, CPS comes over to the house. Child Protective Service comes over to the house, and they're like, "Hey, so we got a report that you guys, your wife hurt the child." I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, Mrs. Martinez, can you show me what you did to the child that day? So my wife showed him, and even the social worker was like impressed. Like, "What did you learn that?" And my wife's like, "Oh, I did so many units of child development." And they're like, "Oh shit, all right, cool. No crime was committed. We're good. The kids vouched for the same story. No one said anything bad. Drop it." I actually told the social worker, "I'm like, look, this is bullshit. This is a bullshit call. All she's doing is pissing off the kids. All she's doing is, trying to hurt us in that way. And it's bullshit. It's games. It's games. They're wasting your time. Yeah. They're wasting your time. They're wasting my time. All you guys are doing is scaring my kids, and it's ridiculous."
Yeah.
And so she called her back, and she told her, "Look, lady, Nothing, no crime was committed. Children are safe. And if we continue to get reports like this, we're going to take the kids away from both of you. From both of you.
And that's what I'm saying.
If
That's what I'm saying.
if you're reporting him, he's reporting you, and then we're going to take the kids away from both of you. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
And the CBS call stopped because there was a couple calls before that last one. We got a couple calls, and it's like childish games, man. Childish games. Don't hurt
and
the
that's
kids.
what I'm saying. And that's the people that end up getting hurt. Is it inconvenient for you and they, mama, and everyone? Yeah, of course. But the people that really kind of have a long-term effect from it is gonna be the kids.
And that's another thing that I pointed out to the mother of my kids, and I'm like, remember when we went to court? We went to court to get your supervised visits lifted. Your supervisor was your mom, which kind of hypocrite or kind of biased because it's your mom. She's not going to report any bad doings. So the children, I'm going to say children because it wasn't just the boys, it was also my daughter, expressed their feelings, expressed what it was like to have these visits or during these visits, what these visits were like with grandma supervising. The mediator, since the kids were too little to go on the witness stand, the mediator did it for them. So when they asked the mediator to express the feelings or express how the children felt, let's just say grandma didn't like what she heard and she left the courtroom. And that's what I told the mother.
Dang.
That's what I told the mother of my kids. Remember that. Do you remember that day? She goes, holy shit, you're right. Exactly. The kids don't like to be around your grandmother because they don't like the negativity that comes from her. You gotta eliminate your kids from negativity. You gotta eliminate them from negativity. It doesn't matter who it is. I eliminated myself from my mom and my brothers for a long time because I felt that they were holding me down. I felt that they were negative, and I don't need this.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm not going to do the same thing that happened to me. I let my mom see my kids. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm not gonna do the same to them. But I see that what people don't understand. Again, listen to this. What people don't understand is that eventually the truth will come out. Kids will see the truth, and if the sister intends to put the blame on me on why her cousin didn't come over, or why Julian's cousin didn't come over, then eventually that truth will come out, and that child will only disrespect his mom. He will not be happy with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing goes for Julian.
Yeah.
Julian is like, well, why is my aunt being like that? Mijo, those are answers that you're gonna have to figure out later on.
Yeah.
So point of the story, if you have problems with your baby daddy, again, real quick, I reached out to one of my brother's exes because she has a kid. My brother has a kid. I never met the kid. I sent her a message. Hey, I am so and so, and you're so and so's baby mama, and that's technically my nephew. If there's anything you need, let me know. We can provide it for him. Blah blah blah. She responded like such a bitch that I'm like, block, forget it, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. So,
And that's the point, right? You did your part. Hey, they don't want.
boom.
Whatever.
Moral of the
Done with
story,
it.
people, if you're having a problem with your baby daddy, your baby mama, don't punish the children. Let them see their grandparents. Let them see their cousins. Let them see their uncles and aunts. That is not their fault. You and baby mama, you and baby daddy didn't get along.
Yeah.
I tried and I tried and I tried. And I would go out of my way. I would drive the kids to Oxnard. Hey, senora, I'm in Oxnard. You want to see the kids? We're here. I tried. I'm at the point where now I let the boys decide what they want to do. If they don't want to go over there, deuces, whatever. I'm cool with that. At the end of the day, my boys know that their dad tried. So, again, repeating myself, come on. Don't punish your children for your petty bullshit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I mean, couldn't have said it more. You're always living through it. I just see it on more of a from a secondhand perspective of different relationships that I go through when people call for, hey, different reasons of police matter that is not even police matters, is civil, but I do see it, and a lot of times talking to you, actually, I give them a lot of advice that you give me, and it's unfortunately a lot of it's kind of like the same mindset that they're upset at this person, and they think by, hurting them, that's their way of getting back at them, and later on, from what I've seen, from what I've been told, that all it really affects more is just the kid involved, the children. Those are the only ones that really end up kind of taking that loss. Is not the parent. So, like you said, if you still don't have to be best friends, you don't have to get along, you don't have to talk every day. It's just, be a co-parent, meaning, like you said, don't talk negative about the other person. Let them do their thing. Let you both be parents in your both respective ways, and that's
Yep.
it.
Last word from me before I end the podcast was our very first court appearance. I didn't see my kids for like 3 weeks, and that was one of my concerns that I brought up to the judge. And I will always remember what the judge said. He told her, just because you had them, doesn't mean they're yours. He has every right to see his children just as much as you do.
Hmm.
That quote, remember me if you ever go to court, people. Remember me if you are keeping your children from their dad. That is exactly what the judge is going to tell you. They are just as much as his as they are yours.
Hmm.
But like I end every
Yep.
podcast, thank you for riding with me.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
All right, buddy.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.